Hello.
Hi, honey.
How are you?
I'm trying to find the shared doc. Where is
Oh,
the Google Doc that we shared?
you should. Did you get a link in the email? In an email?
Yeah, but now I can't figure out where it is. Like I went to my recent stuff and it's not coming up.
All right, let me see if I can go in there. Hold on.
Okay.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Yeah, no kidding, huh?
Oh, jeez.
This time change is supposed to be better, but you know what? I think we're all getting smacked.
No, this one is always the tough one for me because I won't go to sleep.
Is it really?
Late, but I wake up an hour and a half early or something. You know?
Oh. See, I like this because it's like God time. It's real. This is real time. It's not daylight savings. This is like real time.
Right. Let me see if I can just share it with you again. Oh.
Yeah. I don't know why it wouldn't have stayed in, because it even says shared with others or shared by others, and it didn't come up. It brought up some weird stuff. I don't know what that was.
See if that, okay. Let's see it again. Oh, I've seen it.
Miss Lenny.
Pamela.
We have Lenny and Hanny and Sandy and Linda. I feel like I'm in Romper Room. I see Sharon and Jan and Patrick.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
I think we're in Hollywood.
Those of us who are old enough to remember Romper Room.
This is Hollywood Squares. That's what I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all famous in our little square.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you share it with me?
So it won't let me share it with you again because it says that, yeah, you're already.
We already shared it.
So
okay, what am I doing?
Okay, I got a link. Hold on.
Okay.
Does he have a link? Let me send that to you.
What?
Via email.
Is it supposed to?
Yeah.
It's got a gold button.
Oh, he doesn't make noise?
Is it supposed to?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
There's a snake in my room.
Oh, and I got your video. Thank you.
Oh, good.
Get me
Yay.
some.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm supposed to be getting a bunch more names for this list. So
yeah, I'll go through it.
Yeah, especially for the 65 and awake. I got a bunch of other people that I'm working with on tickets and stuff like that. So if you can
cool.
help with those guys, then
Absolutely. Of
that'd be
course.
wonderful.
I'm just trying to find it, so I don't know.
All right, see if you got it now.
Let me refresh it and see if it'll come up.
Hey.
All right, what do we got going on? Okay, where's Tom?
This is so strange. I don't know why. I've got these weird documents. I don't even know what they are.
No.
No, not from you. I just don't know. What is this? Hold on.
All right.
No. Let me get back out. And I'll go back in. Google.
All right, we got Glenda and Sharon and Hanny and Jan and
Glenda.
Sandy.
Hey,
Sunday.
I'm making food for an event I'm doing this weekend.
Who is that? Who's talking?
Linda.
Nice.
Yeah, so I was making dough all afternoon for rolls, and then I made herb butter, and now I'm on to the chicken.
Oh my.
Some music. Who's being noisy?
Hello, Marinko.
Who's being noisy? Ruth Ellen, it's you?
Me.
Hey, Ruth Ellen.
Hi.
Ruth Ellen, my lady Jackie was on your team. Do you remember Jackie with the curly hair? She was a massage therapist.
And there's Diane.
She was on my team?
At Michael Burnoff. One of your workouts or something.
That's awesome.
She had an awesome time.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Why am I not getting
Not to go into detail, but did she tell you about what happened with me?
No, we haven't even hardly had time to talk. So she's
Right.
gonna fill me in. Is that all right? Is it
She can tell you, but I don't want to talk about it on here because it's very.
Okay. All right, good. I'll talk to her.
Hi, Marianne.
Priscilla.
My dearest friend.
How are you?
Who's
Hi,
that?
sweetheart. Priscilla.
Oh, Priscilla. Hello.
Pamela. How are you? I have surgery on Thursday, so I won't be in the Zoom.
Okay. All right. We'll keep you in prayer
Thank
for
you.
that, sweetheart.
Thank you.
Mhm. Let us know, please.
I will.
Hey, Peggy.
All right, I gotta call Tom. Hold on.
Okay. You want me to text him? You're going to call him. Okay. Glenda, I'm sending you a link of what we discussed about earlier, honey, okay?
Who's she calling?
You.
Can a guy take a nap?
He's here. He's here.
Hello there, everybody. How are you?
Hi.
Good.
Hey, Tom.
How are we doing?
Awesome.
Why'd you stop my video, Marianne?
I
It
thought
said
I scanned you.
It said the host stopped your video.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Wow. Okay, I'm asking you if I can start your video now.
Start my video.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Hot diggity dog.
There you are.
All right. All right. So,
Unmute everybody. Hold on.
all right.
Okay, unmute yourself. Where are you here? All right, I got you. I got you. Now you can go.
Okay. I feel very, very good about that. Congratulations, everybody. I have my brick with me, and I have my GoPro book with me. And fundamentals. That's all you talk about now. And most of you have gone through 65 and a wake up. You're on your way. I'm looking on this board, and I'm seeing a lot of people. James, tell your face how happy you are. Get your hand off your face. You look so sad. Man alive. You gotta, if you're gonna be on the camera, you gotta look at Pamela Ann Schwartz or look at Ruth Ellen. I mean, look how happy they look, James. I mean, that's it. So, hey, Don, wait a second. I gotta do one more thing. I gotta yell here. Told Dominic to make a little bit of that longevity coffee so we'd have a little coffee to make our day good. And let's just go. I was over at the office this afternoon. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do, I just changed my mind because I just thought about a great interview that just happened today. And James, I want you to unmute and talk about that interview that you saw happen today, because it was kind of interesting how the whole thing went down. Our new and I hope Claire comes on here. I don't know if she's going to, but you guys need to meet her anyway because she is going to be a beast. She just joined us, and she is, you know, she came from another company, so she would have that one product, one vision. And so we were talking about you got to unmute James Earl Moore, Marianne, and yourself. And she's got that one product vision. And so I kept trying to tell her that longevity was the only game in town with these 7 verticals. And she says, yeah, but I'm a naturopathic doctor. I said, yeah, that's been your biggest handicap ever since you've been in network marketing. She says, oh, no, it's really worked out well. I go, no, it hasn't really worked out so well. And we had these conversations. But today she used that. So we are not a one-trick pony, just exactly like Pamela Ann Schwartz said. But it was so fun today because she brought in a couple of people that are in 2 or 3 different deals and really trying to figure out how they're going to do this business. And it was really cool watching Claire, number one, play into the conversation called show these people what we've got, we'll figure out what they want to buy, and then sell that to them. James, talk about what you saw today because I think you were pretty amazed.
Yes, I was amazed at the questions that were asked and how it was all about questioning and listening. And I was amazed at how when you said something to them and you explained contact mapping to them, how their eyes just lit up and they were floored.
Yeah, her job previous, they were a couple. They've known each other for 3 years. Her job previously was a human resources director at a place called Banner Health, which apparently is some big health company, and Kaiser Permanente, and she was there for 22 years. And she's got a real story about that. And then her boyfriend was has been in genetics forever, whatever genetics means. And they've known each other for 3 years, and now they're trying to make a life together. And they're trying to they want to start a genetics company, but they don't know how to fund it. And rather than go in any direction out there, explaining Dr. Wallach, the products, anything, my whole conversation with these people, as James will tell you, or Marianne will tell you, is that we aimed it straight at them. And everything that came out of our mouth was to show them how they can do longevity. And it was pretty cool because we went through their entire life, I mean, in the interview and throughout the conversation. And then at the end of the conversation, we used we literally used their coffee shop interview, not against them, but for them, and showed them how everything that they've done to today is going to work better for them in longevity. And what I'm trying to tell you that is most of you in 65 and a Wake Up are getting halfway through 65 and a Wake Up, and you've got all these interviews now, and you're saying to yourself, what do I do now? Whether it's Patricia Mellett, whether it's Sharon, whether it's Priscilla, whether it's Patrick Halstead or Hanny or Peggy Gleason or Marinko or Ruth Ellen, you're saying, okay, I've done this, now what do I do? And you look at your touch points now, and you look at what you've got going on, and you've got so many different ways that you can show longevity to people. And instead of being this one-trick pony like Pamela Schwartz just said, you just go back, and Marinko, your interviews are so deep and so great. You go back into people's lives and you say, okay, well, you said that this was going on with you. I want you to look at this. Or, you've got different ways to show people where longevity is going to fit in their life. But one thing, and I was talking about this to Steve Wallach today, one thing you can't do is just be their good friend without suggesting they try this stuff. Otherwise, you're just talking and you're never going to accomplish anything. What I want you to do is start asking for the sale all the way through. I want you to buy and try this coffee. I want you to buy and try this knee cream that might help that pain in your knees. I want you to buy and try whatever it is that you've got as a product. And then on the three-way call front, I mean, these people had a specific income level they wanted to hit. And I worked them backwards through that. I said, here's how you're going to get there from here. We're going to work you backwards through, here's what they want to make per month. I said, here's how many people you need on your first level. Here's how many people you need on your second level. Here's how many people you need on your third level. We want every one of those people doing 150 BV per month. And I just basically used the coffee shop interview formula backwards. I didn't tell them it was easy. I didn't tell them it was going to take a long time. I just showed them that we were the roadmap for them to get where they wanted to go in their life, which is the most important part. So anybody got any questions so far? Anybody got any input? Marianne, were you around for enough of that conversation? Good job, Pamela. I'm going to talk about that in a second, what you just commented. Marianne, were you there for enough of that conversation to see that happening? Or did you and James have a chat about that where it worked?
Well, I think, as I've seen over and over and over again, is that how powerful the coffee shop interview is, right, in a situation like that. Because it was just hilarious how they just were like, oh my gosh, yeah, everything you brought up, they just thought you were so brilliant about the idea, even though you're speaking into exactly what they had, you already knew about them. So they were so excited when they left, they could barely get themselves out of here. And they had to go to another meeting, but they, you completely showed them how longevity could serve them in all these other ways that they were looking to be served, basically.
And do you know what I'm noticing right now? I'm noticing how beautiful my wife looks on that screen.
Oh,
Denise. You have to unmute her. So, Denise, are you unmuted yet?
What, Tom? Yes.
How are you, kid?
Fine.
You are so beautiful.
Look at
But
Dominic.
I want you to tell everybody what you've been doing all day long.
Why?
Because you've just been working your little fingers to the bone.
Sending out gifts. No, I have 13 canvases that all came about 4 days ago, and so today was my day to send out notes in 65 and a wake up canvases. And what's great is as I'm writing these thank you notes, it just really touches my heart how much work you all have put into this group and into the challenge, and none of you, because you can't do it half-assed. I said the ass word. You can't do it half-assed. You really got to do it with all of your heart, and it takes a lot. And so when I think about each one of you and what you've accomplished and what the challenges that you've gone through as you've persevered through this, it really does touch my heart. And then I think about the ripple effect going out into, this country and just, we're making a difference out there, one little ripple at a time. And at the beginning we're kind of practicing a little bit, but really it's not a practice. I think that anytime you bring love and positivity into the world, especially right now with everything that we have going on, that it does make a difference. And we are making a difference. And all of you are extraordinary. And it really does touch my heart, all the hard work that you've put into this. And so it's a pleasure. It's a real blessing to be able to send out these canvases and tell you thank you for everything that you're doing.
And we like you guys so much better than you like us. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. We love you. We know how hard this is. But here's what I want. I almost did a rant on this today because there's a couple of you who I've talked to quite a bit who keep telling me how much work this is. Digging ditches is work. Being a police officer is work. Doing all this hard work, manual labor, a boss that you hate, all that stuff is work. This isn't work, you guys. This is just skills that you need to learn. And I promise you, it feels a little bit like work, but it's not. It is something that literally every one of you can do. And all it is a matter of getting through it. Lanny, unmute yourself. Or unmute Lanny.
Okay, I got it.
Lanny.
Hello.
What was it like when you were trying to be a professional network marketer before 65 and a wake up? You kept dropping the ball. You kept quitting. You kept doing all that jazz. And then you decided not to. How do you feel now after you grinded it out 66 straight days?
Well, like you said, it was just hit and miss. And I'd go along for a whole week, and then Friday I wouldn't have anything else to do but make calls. So I'd do it all in one day. And that just got so hard to do that. I've been in network marketing since 1972. You would think that I would know so much. But I'm telling you what, in the last 65 plus days, I have learned a tremendous amount. It's just amazing the amount of things that I've learned. I've learned to listen. I've learned to shut my mouth and not talk when I'm not supposed to, and just listen to what these people are telling you and not make it about what I want them to do, but to make it about them and how I can help them. And it's even got me to the point, I even got my sister-in-law, my mother-in-law, and a nephew as a customer. It's unbelievable. I mean, that's family, you guys, and family is just the hardest. And so they are on board. Now, maybe the product may not be exactly what they want, but what if it helps them? That's all we're here for, is to help those other people. And right now, I feel like I am just gliding right along. And every day, I know if I do those two things and send them out something as a three-way or get them on a three-way call, now I'm ready to start sponsoring the way I should have been sponsoring 40 years ago. So that's what I've learned, and that's how I just feel like it's absolutely an amazing thing with 65 and a Wake Up. And I believe everybody should be doing it. I have been telling everybody to do it, and it's awesome. So I want to thank you and Denise and Pam and Marianne, everyone, James Earl Moore, everybody for helping. Continue to love everybody that's doing the 65 and a Wake Up, and lifting them up and edifying them, and just edifying each other. It's awesome. It is truly awesome. It is a way to make this work.
Yeah, that is so funny, Robin Tanner. I wish I hadn't made income claims on that escalator going. There was an escalator in some city that was the tallest, highest escalator you have ever seen in your life. And I ran up the down escalator. And it took me like 10 minutes, but it was just exactly like 65 and a Wake Up. You're going up like crazy, and all of a sudden you go down, and you go down 5 steps, and you're about ready to die when you get through 65 and a Wake Up. But at the end of the day, your entire network marketing career, your entirely network marketing run is going to be easier and better having gone up that down escalator like Robin just said. And that's, it was dangerous, but you know what? I'm a tough guy. But at the end, did you hear what happened to me this morning with my feet? Did you guys hear about that? Do you guys want to hear a funny story? I am so stupid. So I get up this morning, and last night we went to the police station for the opioids. This is a good story. It's worth telling you, because you go through stuff. This is a hard business. So I go to the police station yesterday and we do the Opiate Awareness Day, and we're trying to figure out a way to keep that rolling. So we do that, and then I go to Boulder with a guy from the police station, and Denise picks me up, and then I come home. And so we get home from Boulder, and this morning at 6 o'clock I get up, and I'm getting ready for the Hair on Fire call, and Duke's got my computer. I tell him I'll meet him at Planet Fitness. I walk in, and I am too lazy to walk across the room and grab a pair of socks because I'm going to the gym. So I put on a pair of boat shoes and no socks and walk downstairs, look out the window. It's snowing, no big deal. I'm just going to jump in my car and go. So I put my headset on, and I walk out the door, and I start the Hair on Fire call, and I'm in my zone already, and I'm screaming at all you guys, and I'm walking, and I walk up and down my driveway, and my car's not there. So I keep walking, and I look out on my street, and my car still isn't there. And if there's snow is this deep, and I'm going, what on earth am I going to do? So I've still got my headset on, and I go, my car's at the police station, after I realized it hadn't been stolen. So I walk all the way down to the police station. Through the snow, it's slushy snow. Cars are smashing on me. Yolanda Brown is telling me I'm so loud no one can hear me. People just want to hang me because the cars are roaring, the slush is pouring. It's a mess. I get all the way down to my car. It's like a half mile, 3/4 of a mile away. I get there, there's my car. I go running down the stairs. There's a couple people in the police station thinking I'm crazy. I run over to my car. I know the keys to my car are on the floor of the car. I look in the car. Of course, my keys are in my sport coat back at the house. I have to walk all the way back to the house now, which when I'm freezing to death. I get to the house. I'm so cold. I grab the keys. I run right back out the door and head to the police station. I'm still on the phone talking to people, and I realize that I had still not put any socks or warm shoes on. So if I have pneumonia, it's because I'm an idiot. But you know what? I can look at Denise nodding. But at the end of the day, thank you, Dominic. I could just kiss you. I burned my finger. So anyway, the end of the day, you guys, you got to do what it takes. And if that's the worst thing, and I could go, oh, this is so much work. No, it's not work. The guy shoveling those sidewalks for $10 an hour, that's work. I was just a goofball. So the name of the game, you guys, is no matter what it is, have fun with it and don't let it ruin your day. Have fun doing what you do and love your life and crash through it. So nothing happened in my car. So let's see what else we got here. Let's see who else I want to talk to about. Marinko, can you unmute?
Hello.
So you're about 15, 20. How many days into 65 and a wake up are you?
23.
Okay, so talk to me about what's happened to you and Diane and the way it's working for you and the way it's not working for you. Because I want to know what's not working as well as I want to know what's working. Jan Kennedy, if you want to come on here and talk about it a little bit too, tell me about that. Because I want you guys to understand I'm going to get you through these challenges. My job, and I lied to all of you, you've all figured it out by now. You all thought that as soon as you went through 65 straight days of 2 interviews a day and 1 3-way call, you were all going to be 5 stars. But I forgot to tell you that was step 1. Step 2 is the follow-up. Step 3 is the enrollment. Step 4 is taking your teams with you through it with you, this is not, success is never like easy, but it's just steps and you can do this. So Marinko, what do you think?
You're right, because I've been, before I started the 65 days, I'd been in your training center for 2 years. So I'd been playing around with the coffee shop interview and how to speak to people. And, I had a whole bunch of people that were prospects at that point. But there's really 2 main things. It's really the coffee shop interview and finding the right timing of it, and then it's all on the follow-up after that. And one thing that I've learned is that the follow, the closer you are to where they're at is really the follow-up. That's where the key to the follow-up is, because we see where we really want them to be and to be blessed, and whether it's finances or health. But man, the closer we can get to really where they're at for really just the next step for them, rather than fast forwarding, let's say 10 steps for them, and you should just be here now. Just slowing down on the coffee shop interview to figure out exactly where they're at and what their need or their desire might be. But then, even when they express a desire, like the follow-up thing is a whole nother world. Okay, now they've got the desire. How do we move them, or move the box, or move them in the box, or the box around them to get them to move a little bit? And so I've primed that pump already before jumping into the 65 days, and I'm trying to do my 2 CSIs every day, but I'm really seeing that my work right now is all in the follow-ups and who to follow up next and how to re-CSI them a little bit. We're really CSIing everybody all the time, whether it's initial or follow-up. and so I'm trying to figure out that last piece now, because I've got this thing primed. I got to figure out how to get some of these guys in and taking their first steps, and that's a wonderful place to be, and trying to learn that last piece. That's where I'm at.
You're going to make it. Okay, so what I want you to get, and you're looking for places of relatedness. You're looking for touch points. My friend Jerry Aitken's on here. He's from Indianapolis. The guy loves golf. The guy loves the Indianapolis 500. He loves the city of Indianapolis. He loves sports. And those are his touch points. And, whether it's rebound or whatever, but you can't be this billboard of longevity all the time because you look like a crazed multi-level marketer. You've got to be this person who is a human being first, an approachable, lovable human being, because nobody likes getting pitched all the time. So you've got to stop doing that. And your tendency, because you love these products so much and you're so passionate, is you want to be that person. So the second thing that's important, and Pamela, I want you to come on here, is once you've got this, here's what's going to happen to you next, you guys. You're going to start seeing it so much easier to sell product to people. And you're going to see so much easier to engage people in leadership conversation to meet the upline. So in Pamela's case, she's got this terrific upline of Jenny Smith and Mike Battistelli and everybody but me and Denise. But at the end of the day, she uses those people like a sword. And what her job is to, as she looks at her picture on the screen, and I've got you guys all tiled so I can watch all of you. So she's there, and then there's 5 boxes right below her, and she's just got to sit there and imagine one of her leaders in every one of those boxes. Because if she's in here, and she's in here alone, we're missing the boat. Mm-hmm. But if you're in here and your team's here, and then your team's trying to bring their people, and then that team's trying to bring their people, we're out of tiles. One of you people can change the way this game is played by believing, Lanny Sharp. I mean, Jiminy Christmas. You take a look at Darlene. You take a look at Debbie Kravig. You take a look at the people that Sharon Watkins, the people she's got on this wall. And then you start thinking about who you could bring, which one of your leaders. And then you say to yourself, where are my leaders? And if I were to call any one of you and say, where were your leaders on this call? You'd say, I don't know where they were. And then I would say to you, did you call them and tell them to come on? And every one of you would say no. I texted them. I emailed them. I sent them smoke signals. But I did not call them on the phone and make it important enough for them to be on here. So if you wonder why your team's not on here, it's because you didn't make it that important. Isn't that cool? I should have Lorene Williamson. I should have Lance Gordon. I should have John Milton Fogg. I should have Scott Fardulis. I should have Keith Halls. I should have Claire. I should have, it's unbelievable. So don't think I'm pointing my finger. I didn't call any of those people today to be on here. I didn't call one of them. And as a result, who's here is who's here, but it's on me. I'm not looking at this board going, look who's not here. I'm looking at this board going, I should have called these people to tell them to get on. Does that make sense to you? So taking responsibility for your business is critically important. But again, James and I were looking at a list today of a couple thousand people that we need to get hold of on the phone via email or text or something. And that isn't the list. Your list is your influencers. Your list is your 4 people that are going to take you to the next level in longevity. And those are the ones that you're in the foxhole with and you're spending every minute. So Pamela, I love you. Talk to me. You've been a devotee. Tell me about how this is going for you and where your potholes have been and where your wins have been and where your surprises have been.
Well, I can tell you that as I look in the boxes, I see 2 people that are on my team, Glenda and Colleen, and so they're here. And I also see 2 people challenge team, Peggy and Hanny, and so I know that definitely the connections are really important. We did create separate Facebook groups to maintain that contact. Glenda and Colleen are dedicated, so they're here all the time. I did speak with Colleen earlier today, and with Glenda and Colleen, I usually speak to several times a week. So it really is important. There's a gal that I went out with today on the road to talk to prospects for David Allen Capital Loans, and we did 3 ways with that, and that's Valley, but she has difficulties with getting on here with her internet connectivity out in their farm. So there are people that are still getting touched. And I have Laura, of course, and Glenda was at an event that Laura held over the weekend. So there are things that are happening, but it is interesting. I think that when we come together here, it helps everyone to be on the same page, to be doing the same activities, to have those same results. So when you work together, you're going to work better that way. The potholes are because of my own shortcomings with follow-up and so forth. And I was just mentioning to Marianne that I think we need to, like you said, Tom, the other day, about creating a sense of accountability for the graduates. I think we need to create a separate Facebook page for the graduates where we have that next stop of the follow-ups, where it's like a follow-through on the follow-ups, and we have to maintain that accountability while we still have the responsibility to pay it forward for the people that are in the 65 and a wake up, to comment on what they're doing, to to help, to give them the excitement and the encouragement that they need so that they can be successful as well. Because as Mike B always told me, a rising tide raises all ships. And so we work together on this. But I do think that we need a little extra. And I think the Trello is awesome. Marinko and Adrian, thank you. But I think we need to somehow parlay that into, you didn't do your 2 today, and we need to see that happening to make it work. Does that make sense?
Yeah, the next level of, and so you guys know that right now in 65 and a wake up, it is such a volunteer army. One level beyond that is when you graduate and you say, I want to become a network marketer. I want you to coach me. I want you, and Jan Kennedy, she was on here. She's not here anymore, apparently. She probably, yeah, she is. There's her face. Jan,
Tom,
yeah, Jan.
Tom,
what?
Mrs. Lanny, you have to recognize somebody that just got on. She found out how to do Zoom.
All right, tell her her face. Her face is not on. I got her.
You have to move your screen so your computer so we can see you, Jean.
Jean, you got to tip. Yeah, get your face up, Jean.
There she is. There she is. Awesome.
Hi, Jean. You got to unmute her, Marianne. She is.
You're good. You're unmuted, Jean. Go ahead.
I said hello. How are you?
Make her big. We are fantastic, and we love you. And is this so? You're a 1-star. Is this the first month you've ever been on 1-star?
I've just finished qualifying my 37th month.
Okay. So let's 37 straight months, and
going for my 38th.
Where do you live?
Pardon?
Where do you live?
In Lyman.
And how many people live there?
Probably about 1,600, but there's nobody that I have here. They won't even talk to me because I've got them into too many things.
and are you, so how are you? Are you like 45 years old?
Yeah, like 84.
You guys, come on now. Is this and how about your husband? He does most of the work, right?
He's never here. He doesn't work the longevity. I can't get him to really do it. He's got his own thing.
So do you love longevity?
Do I?
Yes.
It's my life.
And that is the greatest. You guys, you are Jean Nordic. If I can tell you, you are one of the most inspiring, spectacular women I know. And it's so funny. She sends me emails just raising heck with me sometimes because something didn't go right and go her way. And man, she is not afraid to pull out the punching gloves, the boxing gloves, are you, Jean?
Well, no. And if you need to tell me something, I was really happy after I got on to you about why were we changed. And then Lanny has been nothing but help to me, and I love her to death.
She's just a little rock star, isn't she?
Oh, well, I'm on here because she's helped me.
Well, that is.
I'm not a computer expert, I tell you, but when I get a chance to talk to people, Tom.
Yep.
I mean, I had the last ones that I got into longevity asked me about, they were concerned about the products that they were getting.
Right.
And how pure they were. And I said, I don't have to worry about my products because everything is pure and natural. And so I've got another person right now looking at videos and stuff, then I really think I'll get her in. I just got a couple in that she's had back problems for 17 years. And guess what? The Pain Away is really helping her.
Well, you love people. I think it's keeping you young, don't you? You're talking to people. You're staying active. You're not just sitting around playing, watching TV all day long. You're just.
I don't watch TV.
I know. That's what, except, yeah, you're beautiful. So you keep up the great work, okay?
Well, Tom, I respect you totally.
Oh, good. That's especially on this Zoom. I didn't want you to take me to the woodshed.
Oh, I respect you.
Okay, well, good deal. I respect you. So thank you so much, and I love you. Unbelievable job, Lanny. Unbelievable job. All right, Jan Kennedy, do we have you yet? Okay, so Jan's been dealing with issues. And as she does it, she calls me on the phone and says, here's the way I talk to this guy. Here's the way I talk to that guy. You people you have permission to text me. You have permission to call me. A few of you are going to say, I called you on the phone and you're not that polite. You're not that nice, Tom. And it's because I didn't tell you what you wanted to hear and you didn't like that. And guess what? That's why you hired me. And I can't agree with you all day long. I have to coach you and I try not to be mean, but I know I have kind of an edge sometimes. So you just have to deal with that. But you could also call Denise. So the name of the game is, go ahead and unmute, honey. And the name of the game here is a team effort to every one of you. Our job is to serve you. We know who pays us, and it is you. And we know that we are going to build a bad to the bone army here if I can just keep this thing rolling the way it's rolling. So, and I see you, Emily. I love you, you little angel. It's great to see you, kid. All right. So, Denise, any pointers that you want to give before I move on?
Well, I was coaching somebody today, and they've really been hesitant to. They've been stalking 65 and a Wake Up for months now. And the real issue is about, just committing to the group. And what she ended up saying is that what really moved and inspired her, right now she's doing the Rev Challenge to try and get some discipline in her life. And what really made a difference in even doing that was that she had a conversation with somebody who just completed the 66 days. And after watching the video of their completion and really being moved and inspired by it, she said, I'm missing out. I'm missing out by not like by feeling like I'm undisciplined. And so the way I'm going to get through that is I'm going to do the Rev 90, and then I'm going to start having discipline in my life. And then I'm going to start into the 65 and a Wake Up. My point is that it was the great videos that you guys are doing at the end, saying what you've learned, how it was for you, the struggle at the beginning, how you got through it, the challenges, and then now that your excitement and hope for your future because of it. So those videos are so important, and they're moving and inspiring so many people that even aren't really actively participating in the group. So thank you for that, because that has made a huge difference.
You have to bare your soul. I mean, and we all are so good at wanting to, but when you finally get in that water and start swimming, it is a whole different ball game. And to be able to swim back to the shore and sit on the dock for a few minutes and then get back in when you want to is just a gift. And the second thing that's wonderful about it is you get to get in the water at your own terms. And I work real hard on coaching the coaches about not chastising anybody on that wall. I want everybody to, I want to coach gently. And that's what we have to do. And Denise, you're the and you tell me that all the time. You even tell me to be even kinder and softer and fuzzier than you. And
I with this gal, she's so she's shackled by perfectionism, and so what I did with her is one of the things that I love about Martha Beck is that she talks about the 4-day win. And Martha Beck she'll say, whatever your goal is, let's say it's you want to run a 10K, right? Well, you don't go out today and just run a 10K. You got to work up to it. But if you've never run before in your life, even to say, okay, today I'm going to go out and I'm going to run for 30 minutes is probably a stretch. So what Martha Beck does is she says, instead of going and saying, okay, today I'm going to run for 30 minutes, make it super, super easy. So go out and run for 10 minutes. And so do 10 minutes, 4 days in a row, and you'll feel like you accomplished something. And then give yourself a little treat, not food, but some sort of treat, like, okay, I'm going to go buy my favorite magazine or whatever. So you start to train your brain to be positive and to connect, what you're doing goal setting wise with something positive. And then in the next 4 days, you up it. Okay, now I'm going to run 15 minutes for 4 days in a row. And after that, then I'm going to go out and give myself a little treat. So you start to connect 4 days to 4 days to 4 days. And so what we did today is she said, I really want to do one coffee shop interview a day. And I said, okay, so how about this? Instead of doing one coffee shop a day, why don't we just say you're going to go out and do 4 coffee shop interviews in 7 days and start that way? Because I really wanted her to break free from having to do it perfectly, because that if she misses a day, then she's going to feel horrible about herself. So I wanted her to start little. And she was like, you could see, I can do that. And I said, text me after you do each coffee shop interview. So she's only going to do 4 in 7 days, but we're starting to build that sort of the backbone to having her start whenever she's ready at 65 and a wake up.
Good. Well, there are plenty of her on this board, on this Zoom right now. And there's plenty of them out there. And it is something, I got you, Marinko, in a minute. It is something that is going to be even more obvious to everybody as more of you coach and encourage, and as more of you graduates make videos. Because that little 2 or 3 minute video makes these people cry. Before I go over to Marinko, I want to go over to my buddy Sandy from Milwaukee. And she's not unmuted yet, but she will be in 1 second. She came into this thing and she was not ready for it at all when she jumped off the dock. And what she has accomplished is unbelievable. Hello, Sandy. How are you?
Hi, I am doing great. Can you hear me?
Oh, we can hear you. You turned your camera. There you go. Now you're facing us. Tell us the story. How's it going? How did it go? How bad did this thing whip you around?
As you heard, Rock is in the background, so that's why we didn't have the camera on, because it was kind of sitting in the middle of us, so it was looking at a wall. There was a lot of fear at the beginning. I was so afraid to start. I was afraid to talk to people. I just thought I made this big, big mountain out of it. And I looked at the whole 65 days in a row, and I made a huge deal out of it. And at the point where I decided I was going to just do it, I just said, you know what? I'm just going to talk to people. I'm just going to find out and introduce myself and find out about the person and love the person. And I have no agenda. whatsoever. That was really the key for me, because before I was looking at it like I was trying to sell them something. I was trying, I'm trying to sell them something they don't want. And I was looking at it with the wrong perspective. And there's still a little bit of fear in me about talking to people. And I think it's a confidence thing. And I know that's something I'm working on. And being in this group, being around people like Pamela and Denise, and just seeing they are, and them overcoming, and I think I can do it. It's like I keep telling myself, I think I can do this. And I was able to string together the 66 days, and there were a lot of challenges along the way in doing it, but it was really the thing I posted the other day on my personal page was the leap between where I am and where I want to go is so frightening. But because of who I want to be, I'm just going to jump. I'm going to take this leap. And that's kind of what it was for me, diving in on the 65 and a wake up. And I have encouraged some of my team members now to do it, and encouraging them to do it, because if I can get over that fear, they can too.
Isn't that beautiful, you guys? It's emotional for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Golly, Neds. I'm so doggone proud of this group, because you are doing something no one does. And believe it or not, 66 days is just the beginning. Now you've developed the habit. You're automatically interviewing people, so you're going to hate me forever because you're going to go to restaurants and your spouse is going to say, would you just not interview people? But, look at the person you're becoming. You're kinder, you're listening, you're interested, not interesting. You're broadcasting, you're receiving instead of broadcasting. Everybody that is around you feels better having met you than when they got there. It is going to work for you. Marinko wanted to ask me something. Marianne, you got to unmute him. Hi, Marinko.
Hi. I put in one of my posts, I've always been a friendly guy, and I've always talked to a lot of people, and I like talking, and just listening to everybody here and not wanting to jump in and talk is like, I'm thinking about something to say. That is what you're changing in me. And, like what Denise was saying, Diane, she's as friendly as anything, but she doesn't like the pressure talking. And, rather than going for the no, I don't like rejection. I don't. And not liking rejection has kind of grown my skill of being friendly with people. And, like Denise was doing with her friend, I forget who she was talking about, that's how Diana's jumping on board. She's not necessarily doing 2 a day. I just want her feeling comfortable to talk to people and listen to people and not push rejection. Don't push something on them to push a rejection point. And like the most subtle thing that you did for me, Tom, was, like in the friendly mode, I remember I like talking, so what I'm focusing on is not doing too much of the talking, trying to share the talking. And that helps people like you and not feel like you're, too pushy. But that also wasn't helping me move anybody either, because we're just kind of mutually talking to each other until we're done talking. What you've done for me is you've said the key is in the listening and where to reconnect. And the only place that you can reconnect is if you're listening to them and figuring out where you want to, reattach during the conversation or even on a later conversation. And with that, the more what I found, because the old way is just back and forth and back. It's more like a tennis match, right? Now, I'm listening as much as I can, relating as much as I can, and sometimes that takes me into deeper things that I wasn't intending to do because I'm just trying to relate to them and get them to open up more. But when you've listened enough, that's when they start asking you questions. If we can wait until they start asking us questions, they're like, wow, this guy really is interested in what I'm going here. He might have something to offer here. And that's the thing that you've done for me, Tom. You've totally transformed this friendly guy into really paying attention and listening to people, and then connecting and relating to those guys. Not pushing any kind of rejection point, but just a relating point until something maybe there's a solution there.
And it gets more fun. I look at my friend, hello, Alberto Garcia. I look at my friends. You know, here's Chris Downs, one of the charismatic guys of all time. All he needed was a little tweaking, and the guy is turning into a coffee shop interview machine. This woman, Lucy Olmedo, she's on here. She's just getting in the water. Hanny is her main woman in this thing, and Hanny's got her just jumping in the water a little bit at a time. And what I encourage you guys to do, especially with your leaders, is have them come in here and test the water, because they're either going to get in or they're not, but they're not going to feel alone anymore that they're scared to start. And what I want people to be is not scared to start. And every one of them is not going to be a Marianne Niehaus or a Pamela Schwartz or a Marinko. You know, they're not going to be a Lanny. They're not going to be a Denise. They're moving at their own chosen speed, and you need to honor that, because the name of the game is this business is freedom, and it's their business to move it however they want. But when they reach out for help, that's when we've got to be here. And I pinned the coffee shop interview. I don't know if you guys have noticed. I pinned the coffee shop interview with the guy from the Catholic high school that I did in Milwaukee when I went to Lance's wife's funeral. And I went to that, and I only gave you 5 minutes of it, but I gave you enough to let you hear the audacity that I had in asking questions that you guys would never ask. I ask that guy gently questions you will never ask. I ask about his family. I ask about his money. I ask about his health. I ask about his time. And four things, 1, 2, 3, 4 things that none of you would ever have the guts to ask. And I did it all in 5 minutes. And he was a total stranger, obviously an older guy, 68 years old, I think. And he answered them because I asked the questions. And if he would have said that's none of your business, or if he would have acted anywhere near weird in his answer, I would have backed off and gone another direction. Because my job was to have that guy feel better having met me than he did when he got in the cab. And I sent him an email afterward and told him what an honor it was. I told him I specialized. I love this line. I told him I specialized in helping senior citizens not have to rely on Social Security and that fixed income. Because the only thing fixed in their life at age 65 is their income. Their expenses are going up. They're all drowning. How do we avoid this? And the way we do it is to talk to us. That's all it is. So, Lanny, go ahead. Lanny wants to say something.
Okay, you Marinko had mentioned, and you had mentioned about the listening part of this, and you had mentioned about maybe the spouse saying, let's get on with this or whatever. It was so funny because Saturday when we were at Hutchison right after the game, we took our son and daughter-in-law out to dinner at Applebee's, and we met this beautiful waitress whose name was Mercedes. And so I'm asking her name, and I'm asking her about her life, and I'm talking to her about she has a 9-month-old baby. Now you can just imagine her eyes just lit up when she talked about that beautiful baby who was 9 months, no, almost 10 months, she said. And about that time, Tom goes, "Are you done? I'd like to order." I'm in the middle of a CSI here. Leave me alone.
But you do get so deep into it that you can't stop.
Yes, and so here's the beauty part of it. You know, after I gave her the tip and paid the bill and everything, everybody else was leaving the restaurant, and I said, "I'll see you in just a minute out there." I went over to her and I gave her money for her beautiful baby. I said, this is for your baby's piggy bank. I mean, to tell you, that lady was just like, oh my gosh, who is this woman? And I don't know if I'll ever see her again, but I hope that I left her better than I found her.
You did, Lanny.
I just thought it was so fun. I had to share that with you.
That's awesome.
Precious.
Okay. I want to show you guys something. Okay, so the name of the game, all we want to do, you guys, all of us want to be remembered. And James and Marianne will tell you, I wish Claire was on here, but I'm going to try to show you my phone here real fast, and it's not easy to do because I don't know what I'm doing. Don't move. I don't know what my problem was. So if you look at my phone, that's the guy. I mean, I just take my phone and point it at him. I mean, they don't pose. It's nothing except me bombing them with a photo. That's the woman that was there today.
It's totally creepy, and he gets away with it. I have no idea how.
Look at these people.
I don't either. I don't know how he does it. And people will just stop and let him take a photo of them.
I just smile as big as I can, and I point my camera at them, and I say smile, and I snap it. And that's the last four people, the last four pictures I took today on that phone. So at least four. Let me see if it's any more than that.
Let me say, can I
You
say
can't deny a guy with a hamster on his shirt, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly right. What, Marianne?
Well, no, I think, these questions, I am blown away at the questions you ask people, and you're absolutely right. They will answer them without any hesitation. And you throw out all the time about, so are you making enough money doing what you're doing? And I mean, and I'm just like mortified. You just ask them, if they're making money, and they'll say right straight up, you know what? Not really. Or, yeah, we're doing okay. Nobody's ever making enough. That's for sure.
So this guy walks in the office the other day, and he goes, I've been here before. And I go, I've never seen you before. He goes, oh, I was here. And I go, really? He goes, yeah. And I go, what for? He goes, I came to see Marianne. She's my friend. And I go, well, I don't remember that. And he goes, I remember it. And I go, why is that? And he says, because you told me why I was the most beautiful man you have ever seen, and I should be an Armani model. And it's, it stuck right in his brain. Maybe he thought I was hitting on him. Did that not happen, Marianne, just like that? Of course she
That absolutely happened. And it was funny because when I told him we were meeting here, he never really said anything. And, honestly, I had forgotten that he'd been here and that you had met him.
Yeah.
So
but that's what logged in his brain, was somebody being kind to him, or somebody being off the wall to him, or, that's, you guys, here's the deal. And I'm going to say this to you one more time. I don't know if I've ever said it on this thing. Hip, slick, and cool is a straitjacket. It's a straitjacket. You're not faking anybody out. You're not that hip, slick, and cool. And it's such, you sit back like this and you got to be cool and you got to be this and you got to be that. No. Be completely, unabashedly authentic, vulnerable, and real, and they will be too, and everything changes. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
to a fault, right, Denise?
No, I just every time you say vulnerable, I always crack up. It's so
I can't say that word.
You have like a lisp around vulnerable.
Somebody yesterday couldn't say metabolism. Where was that?
No, that was at the
opiate deal. The doctor couldn't say metabolism. I can't say vulnerable or whatever that word is. It doesn't come out of my mouth. Tell them about when I went into Red Frog with my. Remember, I had a sock stuck in my sweatshirt and they thought I had a goiter. So, because I don't even look in the mirror. I mean, sometimes I walk into Red Frog and Emily, the owner, will say, Tom, you need to go back home. And I go, why is that? And she says, because you forgot to rinse your hair and you still have, I call the shampoo in it.
He looks like we don't have a mirror in this house.
Yeah, because I don't look in mirrors. I hate the mirror, man. I see me.
I think he needs to look
see
a little bit more into a mirror.
I avoid mirrors at all costs because I don't even know why. I think I'm just absent.
This is boring. Okay.
I'm actually quite vain. But at the end of the day, you guys, be real. you're not faking anybody out. Give them your heart. They want your heart. They want your love. They want that whole deal. That's all it is. I love you, Chris Downs. It's hip to be square. That's exactly right. All of you guys, Robin, Tanner, you are my girl. The reason it's your growing edge asking about money is because you're such an expert on everything else. And I want to speak to that before we're trying to run out the door. Here's the deal. Kevin Rock Rice is on here. And he is such an unbelievable, powerful speaker. And I keep making him lean into his listening. And he and I go round and round. And what I want to do with all of you is have you lean into what you don't do so well. Because you've got what you do well really down pat, but it's only served you so far. And my job is to have you break through it and get to the other side and lean into the pain. So if it's the money conversation, that's going to be it. If it's the vulnerability conversation, Kevin Rice is the most vulnerable guy. He'll, all I got to do is, he's got his thumb over the camera here. He doesn't realize it. But, if I just tell him, go ahead and unmute them, we'll just turn him loose for a second. Here's the deal. This guy, Kevin, how are you, buddy? Rock. Kind of lost him. She might have accidentally hung up.
Did you delete him?
Kevin?
All right. Can you see me now?
We don't want to. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Tell us the story. Congratulations for making 65 in a wake up.
You're welcome.
What was your biggest challenge? Shutting up.
I just took a nap before, so if I look like I'm under coffeeed, it's because I am.
Your hair's messed up.
My hair is really a mess today, I know.
Okay, so Kevin, Rock, your biggest problem wasn't talking. Yours was listening and playing it where they were versus going in with your agenda. And that was what we did for 66 straight days of punching it out. But you turned into a heck of an interviewer. You already had all the skills. You've made $50,000 a month in multi-level marketing. And what I wanted to do was A, make you duplicatable for your downline, and B, get you to the point where you weren't the only game in town and you were helping other people be their great self. And you accomplished that in 66 days, didn't you?
Yeah, and it was 20,000, not 50 per month. But yeah, I did well at one time. It took a long time to get there back then. And my main challenge with longevity has just been trying to figure out, how to duplicate my willingness to talk to people, because I have never had a problem with it. In fact, my mom said that I talked before I walked. So, I have no problem with that. But like you said, the listening is so crucial. And then the next challenge for me was to write down right away, or talk into my phone, into the microphone, and just have this, paragraph, even if it's got a bunch of typos, so that I can remember the gist of the conversation. And that discipline was the hardest thing for me. Procrastination has always been something in my past that I've struggled with out of my character defects. When I do, the program of 12 steps, as me and Tom come from that background, there's defects that plague us, and if we're really working the steps, we learn how to overcome ourselves and get ourselves out of the way. And that defect of procrastination has really damaged me in business. It's damaged me in this network, and it damages my marriage. It drives Sandy crazy, because that's her strong area, is just something that's supposed to be done and then just doing it. And then she's a task list oriented person, boom, 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 do all these things. And the things that I don't like to do, because I've been working for myself and not had a job since 99, the things I don't like to do, I have a tendency to just avoid doing them. And that can cost you a lot of money. It can cost you and put strains on relationships, because there's deadlines that you have with people, But it's like, well, I don't want to do that because I don't like doing that. So I'm just not going to do that. And that's really not going to fare well in business. You know, it's going to be costly, and it's costly in my ministry as well. So every area of my life will be either positively affected by the changes that I make within myself. And what I loved about the 65 and a Wake Up is it held me accountable to focus on the things that I'm not good at. Yeah. I had to continue day by day to see, oh yeah, that's right, I didn't do it. And then there was Sandy always, did you do your 65 and a Wake Up? Did you write your 65 and a Wake Up? Did you record that? What did you find out about that person? Did you write that down about that person? And so she was like very tasked. And so, you know, as much as she gives me credit that I was there to coach her and motivate her and educate her and stuff like that. And a lot of times, you know, we'd be together and I just start interviewing somebody and she'd look at me like, he's doing it again. He's doing it again. Because I have no problem doing that. It's not scary. It's easy. I love talking to people. I love building relationships. But when the interview's done, that's my issue that I've worked on. So
we know that. But here's the cool part about it.
Just a second, I can't hear you. There's an airplane that's going over.
It's
Tom and Denise. No.
It's Tom and Denise. Go ahead and mute him, Marianne. Here's the deal. Where he stopped, you heard it right there. He knows where his weak spot is. So it's my job as his coach and your coach, and I'm doing the same thing with Jan Kennedy because she gave me permission, is to pick that scab and make you lean into what you're not good at instead of rely on what you're so great at and never grow. I'm good at a few things. I'm bad at a lot of things, and I lean into that pain to get better. I'm asking you guys to do the same thing. So the only way that we're going to make this thing any better is if we all lock arms and do it together. So next week, we're going to do the same thing, and we're going to celebrate your successes, but we're going to do everything we can to help you be better. So the link to Trello. Yeah, put it on here, Marianne. Rock and Sandy, I know you've got that Trello link, but you've got to watch it. We're going to put the video back up and lean into what's not working. That's every one of you. I'm going across the top page right now. Glenda, Ruth Ellen, Diane, Jan, Peggy, Sharon, Lanny, Ralph, Jean, Lorenzo, Ellen, Chris, Vincent, Shantae, Andy, Reggie, Barbara, Daryl, Rock, Colleen, James Moore. Lean into what's not working and let me help you. And if I'm no good at it, you're going to know it in 2 seconds. You're going to say, Tom, you suck at that. That's terrible advice. We're going to put you on somebody that can. It'll be Denise. It'll be somebody. What was I going to tell you? Something else. Yeah, I'm going to start bringing some guest hosts on here too. Some people that are famous, TED Talk people, like Brene Brown, people like that. No way I can't get Brene Brown, you maniac. It was just an example, Peggy. Don't swallow your cigar. You should have seen yourself. That was so cute. Somebody like that. Like, that's so funny. But somebody, people that are going to, so what I'm telling you, especially about personal relationships, is attainable for all of us. So I love you. Linda Tyler, I saw you. Thank you so much. Colleen, that little Emily, I love her. The Invisible Man, Keith, where is he? Everybody, Hanny, keep up the great work. Em, thank you so much. Sandy and Rock, thank you. Linda Tyler, you're an absolute rock star. Great smile. Barbara Stallings, unbelievable. Talk to you guys. Andy Glick, Shantae, I love you. I'll see you all. Bye-bye. Have fun. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Vincent. Thanks, Tom. Thanks for everybody. Woohoo!
Love you guys. See you Thursday night for GoPro.
All right.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Tom awesome. Tom is awesome.
Yes, he is.
You're all awesome.
Love you, Annie.
Thank you. Love you guys.
All right.
Thanks for everything.
All right. See you later.
There's something else.
Marianne. Hey, Tom.
Yeah.